I have already been given the chance to play the Total War Saga Troy campaign, and overall there was a lot to like. However, there was also a lot that I did not like, but that is for tomorrow's top 5 video. Today we are focusing on the positives. Let's begin, and one of my main worries about the game when seeing early footage was the gods screen. This I knew would be a major part of Troy, yet it looked very unfamiliar and possibly complex. It turns out it was not at all. All the gods' buffs made perfect sense and fit their characters. The hecatomb is where you sacrifice food for them to like you. The prayer is where you can receive a temporary benefit. The more they like you, the more favour they have, the greater that benefit. And that's it. It's that simple. And I like that. Number 4. The overall appearance of the game is amazing, yet I did not need to play it to know this was the case. The fields blowing in the wind, the incredible lighting, the water in both battle and campaign is visually stunning. I loved it, and throughout the campaign, that remained. I only saw one texture or visual bug in the entire 5 to 10 hour experience, and that was one that the devs already told us about. They were already working on that one. Number 3. Factions have unique special abilities and some what I call mini-games. Paris has a very interesting minigame, but I cannot sadly talk about that until Friday. By minigames I mean side stuff that goes on outside of a campaign, mostly used in Warhammer 2, such as Elfarian's prison system, or the Vikings faction in Thrones of Britannia being able to discover new lands. Menelaus did not have a minigame, which was sad to see, but great to see that others do, such as Paris. He just had 2 special traits instead, being able to colonise any region without needing an army, and being able to recruit other factions' unique units, if he has a defensive alliance with them. One quick honourable mention now, the battle length is much longer, especially compared to before, which was far too short. Also, we can now clearly see which units are heavy and which are light by the icons, and a load more basic changes were made that we suggested. It's great to hear and see what they have done with our feedback. Feedback that stretches all the way back to Thrones, as agents and other stuff have made a return. Although less playable factions, possibly less DLC and less settlements, overall the saga does not feel as cut back as Thrones did. Number 2. One big issue I have with Warhammer 2 is the level up of characters and special abilities, such as magic. These are complex and difficult to learn and understand for new players. The level up tree of characters is messy looking. Again, just a small criticism of mine of Warhammer. But in Troy it is incredibly simple, in the sense that it is clear to understand. You go along a more set focused tree, and those big branches have one smaller branch each. You need to have a certain level of XP to reach the higher end ones. Overall, I like this, and it is a real step up from Warhammer 2. Much simpler, clearer, and user-friendly. And now, number 1. What I liked the most about Total War Saga Troy. Saga titles are meant to be a way for the devs to also experiment with new features, and see if they could work in base game. In Thrones we saw this with the settlement design, and change in unit recruitment. In Troy we see this with the new resource system. Resources are gold, food, stone, bronze and wood. I had my concerns at start, and so did many others, but overall it worked great and was not too complex. Food is for the early and late game units and sacrifices. Bronze is for late armoured units. Wood is for early buildings. Stone is for late buildings. And gold is just general gold, used here and there. I feel they got the rarity of these resources correct. The balance seems good, although we had limited time to really test that. I feel the trade with the AI can be worked on a little bit more. A lot seem to demand resources from you, who provide no threat at all, which got a bit annoying. But overall, I loved the system, and I'm excited to see where it will go later in Troy and in other future main titles. And that is everything for this video. Thank you to the Creative Assembly for providing me with access. But of course, there's the other side of things also, the stuff I do not like. That video will release same time tomorrow. Top 5 things I did not like about Total War Saga Troy. Overall though, the positives after playing do outweigh the negatives, but I refuse to give a full concrete opinion or review until the full game is released and I have many hours into each faction. I have been MELKOR. Subscribe to get notified of more, streaming Paris gameplay at 3 PM UK time this Friday. Share this video with anyone you know who may be interested. It really helps me out. But most importantly, hope you enjoyed, hope you learnt something, and for now, goodbye.